Actually, there's probably a second. We might just do a quick grab of the crowd, Michael, if you jump up. The two teams are out there now, and then we'll switch her off. Okay. Well, welcome to the 96 Grand Final here at Foster. Unfortunately to say, it's blowing quite a stiff and strong breeze down to the Devon end. We'll call it the Devon end. I suppose we should call it the Tourer end. I'd say it'll be about a 4 or 5 goal breeze, and it'll be a very important toss to win. With me today is Billy Waller, who's been in Inverloch for some 15 years now. He's played a lot of football with Terralgan and Yallourn, Gormandale, and he's going to be helping us out for the telecast for the two clubs today. These two sides have got one each apiece, and one would think that once again that the toss will have a big bearing on this game. What do you think, Bill?
Well, Buck, as you just saw in the second game then, MDU, underdogs, kicked 10 goals straight. Now, they were kicking goals at both ends of the ground. I don't think this wind is a big factor as you may think it is at this stage, Buck. I think these two teams, quality teams, proven finalists, will kick goals at both ends of the ground. This is a real contest.
All right, Billy, it's interesting you should say that, but I think sitting up here in a gale and you say it's not going to make any difference. There's a couple of players interesting for the two Ws. Philip Pavey in the centre will have a big bearing on this game. He's the equal best and fairest for the competition, and he's opposed to Bruce Clark. That'll be an interesting duel, Bill.
Interesting in the aspect that a fortnight ago when these two teams played, Devon were big winners on that occasion, but Inverloch's big gun, that Bruce Clark keyhole, was not in the middle of the ground that day, and I think today that man, his mere presence, the youth in the team that Inverloch has got, he will feed that ball out to those young blokes. Those blokes will gain confidence, and I think we've got a very evenly matched grand final today.
Well, I hope so, Bill, because we've seen a couple of boilovers. We've been doing these for about 10 years for the league now, and I hope that they can probably get them and put them together in some sort of library at some future stage. The style of game that the two Ws play, Bill, they're a tough son-of-a-gun side. I was reading in the Follower that they say that they're on their own and the rest is against them. Do you think that's the way they'll play? They'll be play it physically and tough, and how do you think Inverloch will respond?
Well, at this stage it's 1-1 throughout the year. I saw the previous encounter at Inverloch's home ground. Very tight physical game for the first 3 quarters, but Inverloch got up and won that game. And I can see no reason why today they will be prepared for this mob. They'll match it with them, and I'm picking Inverloch.
Well, I guess you'd do that, Bill. I'm going to go for the form horse. I'm going for the two Ws. I think that although they're missing their coach, Anthony Pavey, I believe that he had an injunction against the decision, and he could have played today, but had he have lost the subsequent appeal, then if they'd won, then they would have lost the premiership. So I don't see him out here today, Bill, and that'll be a hell of a loss. I might say to Anthony, I missed a grand final through suspension 30 years ago, and there hasn't been a final series I've seen since. I haven't remembered it, so you've got a long while in front of you, hopefully, Anthony, remembering this. And bad luck, I didn't see the incident, but it's a hell of a penalty, Bill, when you think that you could give a fellow 4 weeks for an indiscretion during the year. And all right, you serve your 4 weeks, but he's missed 2 finals. He's coach of the side. Do you think the penalty's a bit stiff?
No, I don't really. Let's go back to Coleman. He suffered the same sort of consequences. You've done it. We all know it's final time. If you haven't got the discipline there, well, it's bad luck, isn't it?
Oh, that's pretty tough words, Bill. I hope you don't get up and have a drink with the Paveys tonight. They might come around and just ask you for another opinion. However, bad luck to Anthony Pavey, but at least he has the consolation, at least, of being part of the grand final, in that is his coach, or he was the playing coach, today a non-playing coach. That'll do, Mike. Well, Michael's still panning around the ground. Very big crowd in attendance. We haven't got the gate. We'll try and get that for you later. This is the 96 grand final at the Foster Oval. As you can see, the weather has been absolutely shocking. I do think that perhaps in situations like this, and I know it's tough, but there's a couple of grounds that have probably stood up. I would think Yarram would be fairly good, Bill, and of course Tarwin, who's built on a sandhill. that'd still be in fairly good order. And do you think there's any chance that they could have shifted this, say, on Thursday?
No, no chance on Thursday. We're not to know what sort of rain or conditions we're going to have. You know, this game would be beautifully played at Tarwin today on this end. There'd be no mud whatsoever, no surface water. But there's too much organisation beforehand in this sort of game. No chance of moving it on Thursday.
Yeah, I guess you're right, Bill. All right, a break from us until we get the teams and the toss, and we'll be back. Beauty. We're away. His team's fairly well. Where can you... do we know which way is going where at this stage?
Well,
I'm looking for Peter Dunkley. I can't find him.
Devon's kicking the wrong spoon.
All right. Devon's has the use of a 4-goal breeze. And this could be an all-important first quarter. We have Tibbles in the ruck, who's a very fine ruckman, I'm led to believe. And he's opposed to Billy. The umpires will be throwing the ball up. Here we are, the 96 grand final. Scott and Tibbles. Scott wins the ball, nicely done, picks it up on his right foot. Inverloch into attack. And there's a push in the back and it's going to Devon. And it's going to Tibbles. Inverloch have got the win. Well, I'm looking at it from the opposite view. Kick forward by Inverloch, close to the boundary line on the outer side here. And it'll be a throw in. Neil Park straight in front of us. Clark coming across to take do the ruck work on the forward line. Inverloch kicking with the aid of a 4-goal breeze. It's over the back, no one can gather it. Still a scramble of players, and we'll see a lot of this. A handful pass out right through the agency of Vardy. Vardy away into the half-forward line for Devon now. Devon starting off very nicely. Picking it up is 25. Billy and I haven't got him. Yes, I have. He's Andrew Vardy, is it? A throw in. Out wide to where Tibbles can't pick it up. Does so now, the big fellow. Kicks well into the centre of the ground towards Park. Park drops the mark. He looked like he had it for a while. Off the ground, they forced it in their forward line. Again off the ground. Still the ball's running free. There's a chance here for Inverloch if they're good enough. Another kick off the ground forward, and I haven't got that player, Billy, as coming out as Lithgow. Lithgow can't get the ball away, but well done, son, as he met the ball well. And there's a free kick here going to Devon through the agency of... I can't see his number. We'll get them as we go along. But I think it's D. Scott. It's not, it's 18. Vardy. Vardy wide. To his brother. To the centre wing. Denley with the ball. Here's a chance here for Inverloch. Coy has marked the ball. He's on a very acute angle. This could be first blood for Inverloch, and bear in mind that these conditions are anything but ideal for football. There's a 4 or 5 goal breeze blowing to right of screen. Inverloch have that wind at the moment, and one would think that goals will be at a premium today. Coy with the ball on a very acute angle. Runs around, drops on the side, and I'll wait on the goal umpire. Yes, Inverloch have hit the front through Coy. Good kick by Tibbles. And Billy, one would think that 3 or 4 goals here with the aid of this wind, and that'll be a fairly substantial break.
It will be. Very interesting at this stage is the fact that Inverloch's gun full forward, Glenn Martin playing on the half forward flank, and Coy, Bentley Coy playing at full forward. A very interesting move. I'd say Coy, big strong marking young lad, 18-year-old. He could kick a few more here. They better pick him up and get him out of this game real quick.
Ball in the centre. Knocked away again by Devon. I'm struggling for Devon. I don't know whether they're called Devon Welshpool or just Devon. As it's forward again, there's a mark there paid. No, it's not paid. The umpire calls play on as the ball is at centre half forward for Devon. And they've attacked twice in this quarter. And there's a free kick going here, and I've got an idea that it'll be going to Devon while the umpire's running. No, Inverloch. Yes, Jason Denley with the ball. Centre half back favours the grandstand side. Good long kick looking for Clark. Clark can't mark it, has landed on his back. I hope he hasn't hurt himself because he's down, he hasn't moved, and it could have easily hurt his shoulder. However, when you land on the point of your back like that, and he is the gun for Inverloch, and he landed very awkwardly, Clark there. So let's hope he's okay. He's had a very bad shoulder, and he's still on the ground. Ball meanwhile, throw in, grandstand side here at Foster. Remembering that Inverloch are kicking with a 4 or 5 goal breeze, and goals at a premium in this first quarter, as they no doubt they will be all day. Scramble in the centre, players come from everywhere. Underwood at 16 playing in the centre. I guess he's playing on the ruck. Underwood, I shouldn't say this, the son of Noel Underwood, who I know very well from years ago, as Devon go forward again to half back. Kicked off the ground by Inverloch, onto the centre wing, again by Inverloch. I haven't got a number, son, so I can't call you. He's turning on his Hall. Hall got a hand pass across, and it's run over the line and out of bounds by Longrun. Can we see anything of Clark? Is he back on his feet, Billy?
No, I can't see him. He might have been taken off.
Well, that'll be a heck of a loss to if that's the case. Dawson knocks the ball forward. It's out wide to Burke. Burke hasn't been given the free kick. Yes, he has, in fact. And it's not Burke.
Yes, that's Burke.
It is Burke. Burke the centre half forward. It's over the back. Clearing well for, he had his kick smothered. There's number 9, Bill, I haven't got him. 5 into the goal square, and it's bounced through. Mick Morris with a lovely goal. Clint Morris. Well, Morris will do at this stage. Second goal, we were trying to look at Clark, so we're a bit scratchy at the moment. Yes, he's at centre half forward. Well, 2 goals very early, Billy, and once again, they have the use of a 4 or 5 goal breeze. What do you think? Devon got a score now?
I'm still disagreeing. It's not a 4 or 5 goal breeze. I still say it's about 1 or 2 goals. Inverloch, yeah, excellent start. Couldn't wish for any better.
Okay, ball up in the centre. Tibbles high, gets the knockdown. Picked up and cleared by Devon into the forward line through the agency. I haven't got 16. Underwood, I beg your pardon. And it's over the line, out of bounds. Out of side here at Foster. 2 goals to Inverloch at this stage. And a boundary throw. No one can gather the ball. And there's a free kick. The umpires pick one out here. Going to Inverloch. And Inverloch look like they've got the best of the umpiring. Clint Morris with the ball. The half forward line. And a very nice mark taken indeed by Pavey. Pavey's away. Well done, son. Kicks it long and into the air to centre half forward. An Inverloch mark should have been taken. It wasn't, however. Well, there's a kick to Devon. Peter Dunkley. An ordinary kick, but it's worked, and it's landed with Cole Vardy. Vardy with another one short, and I think that's one too many. Back towards Vardy, he knocks it out cleverly, and there's going to be a free kick to Inverloch. Denley with the ball. Clears it wide to the outer side. Chance here for Devon through the agency of Underwood. Underwood with a hand pass now out wide, and he finds, I haven't got his number because he's covered in mud, but I'll find them as we go along. Please excuse the scratchy call at this stage. Half forward flank for Devon. And a kick now to Michael Pavey, I believe. The centre half forward, a good looking kick too, and it's a good looking mark. Should have been paid, I would have thought, to Darson, but he's hasn't been paid. Play on, and it's a kick for goal. I think this is a goal. Kick through Lithgow. Lithgow scored a goal, a very nice running goal. He came off the half forward line, swooped on it like a true rover, although he's playing on the wing, and that's the way wingmen play today, and was a very nice goal and finished it off beautifully, Bill.
Yes, excellent goal into the wind. Good 30-40 metre kick. Yeah, they're back in it again.
Yes, well, and the wind's dying a little bit. It's It's up and down, but oh gee, the conditions are absolutely lousy for football. Wet, slippery. There's Inverloch have got a change going on, Bill. I'll get you to pick that up as the ball's back in the centre. Scores, Devon, 6 points. Inverloch, 2 goals. 1 goal, 6 points. 2 goals, 12 points. There's a hold up here, and I don't know what the reason is. Could have been the blood rule there, Bill.
Craig Butcher on.
Craig Butcher's taken the field. Up high. Punched away by Devon through the agency of Vardy again. To ground. Hand pass by Inverloch goes nowhere. Clint Morris was the handballer. There's a free kick and it's going back to that player. Marcus Lachlan. The half forward. Big punches are needed today. If you can hit it over your head today, Billy, would be the way rather than go for those marks.
Not many overhead marks today. It's just too much mud, too much surface water back.
Yes, well, if you can punch it on in a situation like that, Clark gets a knockdown, it goes to nobody. Scramble of players. I dare say there'll be a ball up again. We'll see a bit of this, but hopefully things will get better. The sun's out. Scores are 2 goals to Inverloch and 1 goal to Devon. And let's hope we get a close one. The game will necessarily be a bit scrappy. I don't know, Bill. I think umpires could probably pull free kicks out at this stage when there's packs like that.
Well, at this stage, I think both teams are getting it out quite well, Buck, and moving the ball down the ground reasonably well in these conditions. And, yeah, just let them go, I think.
Well, there's a few grand final nerves, no doubt. Devon, of course, the grand finalists last year. They defeated Woodside in a very close contest, so they know what it's all about. Over the back and trying to pick it up was... I haven't got 13, Bill. Would you try and find him for me for Devon? I did these lists last night. Nicely done by Vardy. He couldn't get the ball away, however, but Devon forced it forward, picked up by Inverloch and defended very nicely by their full back. And there's a Devon mark here. By Underwood, I believe. 16? 15. Peter Dunkley. Well, he's seen a lot of football, Peter Dunkley. Fine player. Shocking kick. My gee, you say something nice about them. I think the long bomb's in there, but Peter knows the game better than I do. As it's picked up, kicked forward, and marked by Zimmerman in the back pocket for Inverloch. He goes out the outer side, kicks it long, and that's the way to go. As underneath him takes a very nice mark is Pavey. And that's Matt Pavey. I think I called you Michael before, son. Sorry about that. Matt Pavey goes wide. He finds Vardy. Vardy on to Pavey. Pavey can't get a kick. There's a high tackle, I'd say, and it'll be a Devon kick. Against Bill? Peter Mule. We're certainly too high. And it goes to show you on a day like this, Bill, you've got to be in front.
Yes, must agree. Strong tackle by Peter, but unfortunately too high. Right, Vardy has the ball. He's approximately 30 metres out from goal, directly in front. Into a slight breeze at this stage, Buck. I do think it's dropped somewhat since we sat here some 15 minutes ago. Taking his time, this young lad. Coming in. Nice looking kick off the boot, Buck, but it's close. Crowd like it, crowd like it. Yes, he kicked a fine goal, Buck.
Well, Bill, that's an answer. After Inverloch got away to a fantastic start with 2 quick goals, Devon have come back with 2 very good goals for the agency of Vardy on that occasion, and a very nice goal from about 40 metres out. Scores a level at this stage, and we're about 10 minutes in, I'd guess, to this first quarter in very trying conditions here at Foster, and it's a shame for the Foster people have tried very hard. They can't help the weather, of course. Ball's up high. Vardy away with the ball. Hand pass out. It goes forward through the agency of Pavey. Pavey in the centre half forward, and there's Inverloch mark with Zimmerman. Playing well, Zimmerman already. His 3rd or 4th kick, favouring the outer side. He'll go long, no doubt. Ball's high, and a very nice mark taken by Tibbles. Lovely overhead, lovely pair of hands overhead. And Tibbles into the pocket. No one can gather the ball. Coming through coming through is a kick into centre half forward, and Scott has the ball. Centred by Devon, and that's the place to have it. Scott into the centre. Big men want it. Punched forward by the Devon defence. And lovely hand pass out, finding Underwood again. Underwood to centre half forward. The Inverloch defence stand firm at this stage, and they're under a bit of pressure at this stage as we're finding that Devon are throwing everything at them. And it's kicked forward again through Cole Vardy into the goal square. There's a scramble of players, and I'll bet the umpire will bounce it up. No, he's gone for the easy option. He's going to give it to Inverloch. And a 50 if you're not careful, son. Peter Muir with the ball. Favouring this outer side again. It seems to be the favourite side, and he finds Denley. Denley dropped what he should have taken, however. Butters up. Dowson kicks it out wide. All Devon here, however. Picked up and played forward by Underwood. Underwood in turn finds Tibbles. Tibbles into centre half forward. Pack of players. Very scrambly play at this stage. Peter Moran with a hand pass out wide. Justin Bryce over his shoulder, favouring this outer side. Devon in the van here for the agency of Underwood. Good player, Underwood. Ball's out wide to Clark. Clark cleverly loses the ball. That's how slippery it is. You don't often see him make mistakes. Right off the ground. Play on the call, boys, and keep going as Lithgow gets the ball forward. And there's a mark here to Devon again. The agency of Vardy, and Vardy's played well again. They're going to have to do something about Underwood and Vardy, the Inverloch people. Or the Inverloch team, I should say. I don't suppose the people can do much. It's up to the players. There's another Devon free kick here, and the wind has dropped right away here. I was saying a 4 or 5 goal breeze. So I'm agreeing with Bill Waller at this stage. It's nothing of the sort at the moment. It's 2 or 3 goals, but goals will be a premium, no doubt, as it's into the Devon forward line once again. Half back, favours the grandstand side. Found open space, players in everywhere. Kicked off the ground by Flanagan. Goes nowhere, however. A kick off the ground again by Inverloch. It's still going nowhere. But I must say that these conditions are very, very slippery, and a 2 or 3 goal break coming into the last quarter here by either side, and that could spell disaster. Billy?
Yes, we're on the far wing at the moment. Bit of a pushing and shoving match is all we're seeing at the moment. Buck. Inverloch with the ball into the centre of the ground, and Connell takes a fine mark, and we're off. Looks out wide for Ian Dowson. Oh, but met solidly by the Gavin Britt now has it. Into full forward. Coy over the back. Devon in the bandwagon here. We'll push it through.
Wonderful play by young Coy there to punch it over the back, Bill, as we were saying later, that when the ball's wet and slippery, you're not going to mark it. That punch over the back was worth a kick, and it resulted in a point, but it could have easily been a goal. Randell to kick it out. It's Kyron, as I've got written here, K-Y-R-O-N. Kyron Randell, a very good player for Devon. Kicks it wide, and he's found his teammate all right out there. And I haven't got your name, son, but I assume that it's Lithgow. Lithgow out wide and finds Vardy. Vardy onto his right foot, half forward line. And it's a lovely mark taken by Devon down there. Billy, you better help me. He's a long way away from here and I can't see a name as Devon kick it forward. And another, they've taken it the length of the ground here, the Devons, from a kick out without an Inverloch player touching it, and that is just fantastic football.
Yeah, that's play of the match so far. That's the best we've seen. Inverloch's got to stop that sort of running play. It's interesting to note at this stage, Inverloch's gun forward is still up the ground, young Glenn Martin.
And is this Peter Dunkley with the ball?
Can't pick up a number at this stage, back. He's about 30 metres out. It'll be a 35 metre kick into the breeze. It's a beautiful long kick. He's got the distance just about. It's in the square. Over the back for 1 point.
I think they might have been Justin Randell. If I, very hard to see numbers out so far from here. Now excuse us for this stage. We'll pick you up as we go along.
Yeah, none of that forward pocket. There was nothing much in that. They're certainly playing hard football on Glenn Martin. Anyway, we've got a ruck throw in. It's on the ground. It's congested.
I've got a Pavey here for number 1 for Devon, but I don't know who's wearing his jumper. Somebody might be able to help me. The kick across to Clark. Clark at the half forward line. He'll go long. He kicks it long. It's a 50 metre kick. It'll be short. Here's a remark. Coy up high. Couldn't mark it and through for a point. Scores a level once more. No, in fact, 2-2-14. Devon Welshpool to 2-2-14 Inverloch. That makes it level. A shocking kick. An absolute shocker by Rendell. He went to pass it short, kicked it out without anyone touching it. Dowson's kicked it in, or Dowson's marked it, Bill, is it? Dowson's marked it in from Coy kicking it in. Well, what a shocking mistake by Rendell, good Lord. Oh, good kick and a good player. I bet he won't like that when he sees it on the television. Dawson with the ball. Oh, now we have the timekeeper for Inverloch coming off, Rexy Mitchell, well-known identity around Inverloch. He's the can man. He gets my cans anyway. I've got a stack of them at the moment, Billy Waller, because I only drink at home these days. So I want to keep you catching me on the road. All right, as Michael Makovich pans around the crowd. One thing, Billy, it's been a game without atmosphere at this stage, and I think Devon are the only ones playing with passion. Where's the passion from Inverloch? Where's the real passion to really get out and win this first premiership? It's a 50 year for the Alberton League, but this one, at the first time they combined the Alberton League and Bass Valley, it's a terrific effort that we've got one from either league in it. But where's the passion from Inverloch, Bill?
Yeah, you wouldn't know it was a grand final, Buck, today. It's just a seesawing sort of a game. That quarter Inverloch just sort of dropped their bundle. The other mob got in front. The crowd are where we're sitting here. It's all very quiet. I don't know where the supporters are. But yeah, Inverloch, I think they've got to think back to back in July when these two teams met at Inverloch. About half-time, scores were about a similar sort of situation they find themselves in there. Now, they came back in that second half in that day and they really trounced this mob. And, well, they've got to find something this quarter. Where they can find it, they're going to make a few moves, obviously. And, yeah, see what happens there on.
What can they do about Vardy and the mob that you've been talking about? Of course, there's the Devon Welshpool Football Club. I hope you remember, Bill, on Inverloch's side. But don't forget that Devon Welshpool are the reigning premiers. But what are they going to do about Vardy and Tibbles? Like, they're outstanding couple of players.
Yeah, but Inverloch, yeah, well, their youth policy this year, their younger players, the Dowsons and the Brits, at this stage today, they're slightly down in their game. I know the ground's wet and it's heavy and it's greasy and it's blustery. You know, they've got a few things against them, but yeah, I hope those kids have sat down in their rooms now and thought, well, this is a grand final. We can do a lot better and perhaps get on top of these other good players from Devon.
Yeah, well, I've thought that there's been a couple of good contributors from Inverloch. I thought Denley's played very well. And Burke, who I've called Denley a couple of times, and I'm sorry about that, he's played very well. Those middle-sized players are doing okay, but the other thing for Inverloch, we haven't seen much of Park, old legs and a heavy ground, and we haven't seen much of Clark. He landed very heavily and awkwardly in the first quarter, and he's had an injury with a shoulder. We'll be relying, well, I shouldn't be saying we either, Bill, but Inverloch will be relying very much on Clark and perhaps Park in the last quarter to drop across that half-back line.
Yeah, that quarter, I was quite impressed with Parksy that quarter, actually. I thought he came back quite well. He's got to carry that on. I think Big Dougal Scott in the ruck's got to do a little bit more around the ground and give them some more in that centre situation. Keyhole, yeah, a little bit down on form today, but we all know Keyhole and he can come back.
Well, I couldn't agree more, but the best players, for instance, with the risk of repeating myself, at Pavey and Tibbles, they've been just fantastic, and they've been backed up by a very good unit around the ground. Devon appear to me to be the team that desires the ball just a little bit more at this stage. This quarter will certainly tell the difference as the wind's sprung up again, and it'll begin again. I'd say, I keep saying a 4-goal breeze, but really I suppose we should say 2-goal, because just any sort of goal today is probably worth 2 on any ordinary day. Again, we have Tibbles in the ruck. Yes, that's an interesting move. Tibbles and Muir couldn't get the ball out. Again, it's kicked forward for Devon by Underwood, and a mark taken by Pavey. There's Paveys and Vardys and what have you, and that goes to show you the great family tradition they've got there at Devon. And that's another Devon mark, very nicely taken indeed by Vardy.
6-3 back, I think.
Yes, he played very well up there. He's kicking into the teeth of a gale here. I should imagine they'd probably have a new ball at this stage. And Vardy to stretch this, oh, it's a bad kick. But by gee, it's difficult out there, Bill. That kick, kicking into a breeze with a wet, slippery ball.
Yeah, but that kid's done well, Buck. He was in front there, he belonged that time. They're kicking into the breeze, timed it beautifully, but unfortunately his kick let him down. He kicked 3 already. Right, we've got Scott to kick it back in. Looking for Ian Dowson. Handball comes out. And I should think they'll run this over the boundary line for a throw-in.
Boundary line, Devon half-forward flank, and the wind sprung up again here at Foster in the 96 grand final. And the scores, Devon Welshpool 5-8-38 to Inverloch Kongwak 3-3-21. Ball thrown in. No one can gather it. Picked up nicely by Denley to Clark. Clark to the centre of the ground. No mark taken. Could have almost been a mark paid to Devon there, but play on's the call. A play on the call. Bounce up is the call. Throw up. I'll get it right eventually. Muir kicks it out wide. Flanagan off the half-back flank. No one can pick it up at this stage. The crowd's yelling, pick it up. How difficult is it out there? And unloaded was Vardy. Inverloch defending well to the outer side. Very nicely picked up. And I would say that's Underwood, the half-forward line. All Devon at this stage. It's out towards the half-forward flank near the boundary line. In fact, that's where it'll end up. It'll be a throw-in on the Devon half-forward line in front of the grandstand. Throw-in. Knocked away by Muir. Lithgow with the ball. He'll be penalised, and they'll take it back. Only a little fella, Lithgow. He's got an older brother's run around somewhere. Remember coaching him in the Alberton League sides years ago. Great family tradition, Devon. They've been a wonderful club for the Alberton League over the years. And that's Vardy, if I'm not mistaken. And that's just saying, Bill, this fella, they've got to beat him. They've got to kick it away from him.
Yeah, but they kick it away from him, Buck. Devon's seen them pop up with another player who'll really shut us, Inverloch out for the next 10 minutes. Yeah, they can't pick them all up.
Well, he's popped up everywhere, Vardy. He's played a fantastic game. Ball's out the back. Denley to Burke. Kicks it long. Coy dropped out of the race. You've got to go back there, son. I think I would inclined to put these kids out in the flank. There's a couple of very good boys, but they've got a wet, heavy ball as Hollier comes away with the ball. Touches the ball down a couple of times. Lovely looking pass. And out to Vardy, to Hollier. And a free kick being given to Dunkley. Peter Dunkley with a new jumper on. Kicks the centre half forward. And a lovely mark. Well, they look the goods now, Devon. I know it's early days yet, but there's that man Tibbles again, and he's one of the better players for Devon today. He's played a fantastic game in that ruck. He took on Scott early and beat him. And now he's playing across the half-forward line. 40 metres out. The wind's dropped away slightly. Now, I've got the feeling of mothballs for Inverloch if they, Devon, again are scoring into this breeze. And that's another great goal. And the Devon people are warming to their task now, as you can hear in the background. Well, Billy, what can they do?
Oh, Tibble's a fantastic player. That's the second great thing he's done this quarter. Back over the far wing before he came over the back of the pack with a big fist. Now he's doing the, the big forward thrust things in front, in on the wind. Big mark, big goal. Fantastic play today.
Well, I think with these young Dowson boys, that probably they've got to get them up the ground and just swap it around a bit, because it's very difficult for young fellows, and they're playing against experienced footballers that have been there before, and they're being out-bustled at this stage, as once again Vardy gets the knock away. Gets around to his right foot, does Vardy, and that's Neil Vardy. Muir to Morris. Morris out wide towards Park. Park can't get there. He's going to, well, another coach's kick. Another coach's kick. I don't know what he did to get that, but he plays on. Kicks it long. There's a chance for Martin. He's got the ball. Dummies around nicely and beautifully smothered. Coming out for Devon was number 18. Neil Vardy. Fantastic smother. It was a shot for goal for Inverloch, and they needed a shot for goal. Any sort of goal, any sort of score. Forward line. Scott up high. Tibbles over the back. Dance for Jowson. Hemmed in. Play on's a call. Park. Denley has it smothered as well. A pack of players. Well, lousy kick. Out wide. Britt with a chance. Look, hey, look, I'll smack you in the ear in a minute. Piss off. You're going to stand there. All right? Throw in the half-forward line. Park in front. Clark in front. Hits it beautifully over the back. Here's a chance for Inverloch. And it's a goal. What a lovely bit of work from Clarkey, who knocked it down to Ian Dowson. And Dowson finished it off with a lovely bit of work. Well, Clarkey, you say you're going to retire after this game. They need you in this last half, son. Have you got enough in the old legs?
Well, Buck, that's what we need now. Inverloch needs another half dozen of these goals in this quarter. And I certainly liked your call a minute ago, what you're going to do with that young bloke behind us, Buck. That was a big call too, I might add.
Well, he's a lot smaller than I am, Bill, and I've got the police force with me.
I don't think I'd back you up, Buck, that's
Knocked forward by Vardy again. He's taken over in the ruck, grabs it from the pack. Coming through hard was Pavey. Lithgow with a chance. Well, he's wet and hard out there. And Billy Wallace said Inverloch kicked 6 goals. Well, they kicked 6 goals in this quarter. They'll win it, make no mistake. I think 6 goals is like flying to the moon in this quarter. 6-8-44, Devon Welshpool to IK 4-3-27. Early days yet, but Devon Welshpool are playing very well indeed and answering every challenge. Kicked nicely around the corner by Griffiths. Pack of players. There's a free kick to Inverloch. Don't ask me why, and I think there's 50 metres as well. Will any port in the storm, Billy Waller?
I'm totally mystified, Buck. I couldn't pick any of that up.
Well, we're struggling as it is today. Kick to the flank to Dowson. Dowson gets caught. He'll be over the line and out of bounds. I think they might have shifted Dowson. They might have shifted Dowson to the flank, and I think that might be a bad move. Just take the pressure off those two lighter, younger fellows, and give them a bit of room to move around. Mind you, anything's a slog today because it's very, very wet, and it's affected the younger brigade from Inverloch. Nothing in it at this stage. Lithgow gets grabbed when he wasn't in possession. The umpire will move in and throw the ball up. Out of side. With Devon holding the ascendancy. Throw up. No one can gather the ball. Pack of players. The kick by Inverloch. Over the corner towards Dowson. Can't mark it. Muir. Denley. Denley out wide and he's found Park. That's not Park, I beg your pardon. It's Neil Park, yes. I was right first time. Now Park, 40 metres out, Billy. Can he kick it? You boot him home.
Well, I'll try my best, Buck. Noted goal kicker Parksy. He'll take his time with this kick and, yeah, I think he'll kick this one. So you got one today yet, Buck? I think it's his first one, isn't it?
First one.
Yeah. Coming for his first goal. I'll back it in. Kicked right through the ball. They like it behind the goals. It's right through the middle, Buck. It's another.
Well, a very important goal for Inverloch, no doubt. 5-3, 33 to 6-8, 44. Now we're back to 11 points, and it's anybody's game. If this game is close at three-quarter time, it'll come down to just heart and soul and passion and guts and determination. All those things the grand finals are about.
That's right, Buck. There's only 10 minutes in this quarter. Like I said at half-time, give Inverloch 5 or 6 goals this quarter. If they get a lead, they're going to be hard to knock over in that last quarter. This is very interesting now.
Well, if they kick 5 or 6 goals, Billy, in this quarter, I'll tell you what, they'll win the grand final. I can't see them doing it, although they've kicked the last 2 goals. Ball in the centre. Vardy. Muir. Hand pass out wide. Finds Pavey. Pavey into the centre, into the forward pocket. Scott sees it over the line, out of bounds. There'll be a throw in, Devon forward pocket, and the wind's dropped away again. So it's fluctuating, this wind. It's been blowing a gale for 3 or 4 days here in South Gippsland, and it's up and down at the moment. In fact, if we hadn't had the rain and the ground had been okay, it could go either way. Around the neck, quarter around the neck was Pavey. 30 metres out, throws it to big brother or taller brother to wipe it. Philip Pavey. Well, son, goals are a premium. I've been saying it all day. This will be difficult enough. He's still kicking into a reasonably strong breeze. He's 25 metres out. He'll kick from about 30 metres. Fine footballing family. Oh, so it's Jamie Griffiths, I beg your pardon. Griffiths with the ball. Drifts across the front and through for a behind. I look, going by the numbers, and it's very hard to see. It was Griffiths. It looked like 12 to me, and it turned out to be 17. So bear with us. It's very difficult. Ball's out wide. Dowson with the mark. Looked like I might have him on the ball, Bill. Kicks on the man on the mark, and that's one of the fundamental sins of football, son. You've got to give yourself room. Butters up, however, gets the ball back. Denley, short pass. I think a long kick might have been the go. Britt off the ground. Picked up by Vardy. Vardy in, and nobody picking up that man down there. It was Pavey. Short pass to centre half forward. Runs through the pack. Out wide, a kick off the ground. Should do it again, son. He does. Michael Pavey was the man out there for Devon. There's a pack of players again. Well, 11 points the difference. £12 points the difference. 2 goals now, I beg your pardon. Devon's way. Very wet and greasy conditions here at Foster. As Devon go forward again, that's close, and it's knocked through. Touch from behind, and that takes Devon to 13 points in front. 3 kicks, Bill, still.
Yeah, well, I thought Inverloch were on a roll there for a while back, but Devon, to their credit, they've stopped that march again, and they're on top at the moment.
Well, they've got it in their forward line, and they're 13 points up. But a goal will make the difference here. Any goal, and that goes either way. As Tibbles takes the mark, and fair enough.
He's been fantastic all day.
Yeah, he's played very well, Tibbles. It's likely range of a colt too. Long legs and long arms, only a baby. And he's rucked very well indeed. And a nice looking kick. And he's found, what a beautifully weighted kick down there to the Devon forward line. And I think he's picked up Dunkley. The only trouble is he kicked it to Pete Dunkley, and Peter, well, he's let Inverloch off twice, Billy.
Oh, a difficult kick from there back. He'll probably do it again, I'd say. But the main thing is they're keeping possession, and sooner or later they're going to get one. He comes in as a shot. He's hooked that real bad buck. That's a point at best.
Very difficult position there. They've got the breeze coming through the goals. He did everything right. He pulled it in, but just too much. 13 points of difference to Devon, a 96 grand final. It's kicked into the centre of the ground, off the ground by Inverloch. Lithgow did very well to hold the ball up there. Rendell was in there as well for Devon. Very difficult conditions, as you can see. The Devon just appear to have the players around the ball, and that's kicked into the forward line, and will be a throw-in. Half forward flank, Devon in attack. Nothing much in the game. 13 points Devon's way, but one can hardly see Inverloch getting back at this stage as Clark is swamped underneath the pack. Out the back. Pavey again. Kicks into the goal square. Punch needed. Fantastic mark. I think that's Rendell. I'll wait till he turns around. Positioned his body beautifully. If you get that on slow-mo, got in front. Got the front position. Let the ball come down and took it on his chest. Number 4, Rendell. They say he's a very good kid, this Justin Rendell. Well, with a mark like that on a day like this, you couldn't expect better from a seasoned player.
Sure kick this buck, 20 metres out. We've seen a couple of kicks from this position go through today, so I'd back him on this kick. He's missed a couple today, though. What's he done? Has he gone to the left too far? They're happy. I think he's got it. It's another sausage roll buck.
Well, Devon, at this stage, the scoreboard tells the story. They've moved away now to about an 18-point lead, and I would think that that's almost a match-winning break on a day like today, because this is going to be very hard to score goals in the last quarter. Inverloch have probably about 8 or 9 minutes to kick a couple of quick goals. A couple of quick goals, and one wonders where they're going to get them from. Up high and knocked away by Vardy. He's taken over where Tibbles left off. Denley, half forward to Park. Park gets the best of the bounce. Can he pick it up? Kicks it off the ground, and it's, I don't know why he didn't pick it up. Coming in very nicely for Devon, number 9, and I haven't got him, Billy. If I can get some support somewhere around by somebody that knows who number 9 for Devon is, I'll call you by name, son. Howie was the player with the ball. Hand pass wide. Devon go forward again. Kicked off nicely by Underwood. Dowson in the front. Underwood right beside him. Played in great spirit this game so far. We expected just a couple of perhaps problems, might be the word, but it's played in great spirit. Ball thrown in. Clark over the back. Lovely knocked out. Gets it to Morris. Morris with nowhere to go. Goes back to Clark, but he doesn't get it to that player, however. Scramble of players. Very difficult conditions. You've got to go for yardage here. Lithgow with the ball. Free kick for what I didn't see. Out wide. And the race is on. Off the ground was the order of the day. But that goes to show how hard Scott with the ball. Kicks it long on the half forward line. a Dowson direction. Holly picks it up. And it's out of bounds, forced out of bounds. That's a very strong and aggressive defence that Devon have. They've been all over the young fellows from Inverloch and been well on top most of the day. Throwing in, grandstand side. 17-point advantage to Devon and doing everything right at this stage. And a Devon free kick. To the centre, marked by Brett, plays on immediately to nowhere. Scott's in there. Scott misses the ball. Took your eyes off it, son. Brett again. He's going to pay the mark. Well, son, kick it straight, kick it long. And of course, he just doesn't do that. He kicks it to Pavey. Well, they've got knocked up getting kicks, these Paveys. Lovely pass out wide. Dowson, the centre half forward. It's over the back. A lovely tackle laid on by the Inverloch fellow. Play on's a call. Dowson out wide. In the back's a call. No. The umpire's going to throw it up. Well, I thought the Inverloch could have got one in the back there. Oh, in fact, I'm wrong. I think it should have gone to Devon. Throw up. Coy. Devon stand firm. Clear it to the centre of the ground. A mark almost taken by Scott. Should have been paid. Pavey again. Onto his right, goes nowhere. You can see this ball, even with a kick, it's only going 3 metres. So I think 3 goals is almost a match. Early to say, but almost a match-winning lead at this stage.
Oh, it is at this stage, Buck. They're well on top. Unless Inverloch really pulls something out of the fire in the next 5 minutes of this quarter, I think they're gone. Right. Devon kick it forward. Great mark in front where they belong into this wind. Can't pick the player up. Great mark in front of Inverloch Zimmerlin. Vardy. It's Vardy again. Goes in short, but it's chopped off there by Inverloch's young Justin Bright. Left footer, natural left footer. 15 years of age. Park drops what she should have taken. Players just falling in. Lithgow kicks it forward again, but standing firm is young Dowson.
Played better when he's on with a half back line ball.
Right, kicks it out to the wing. Punched from behind by Park. Kicked forward for Inverloch. Approaching the half forward flank. Coy has a dip, loses out. Devon come away once again, Buck.
That was typical where young Coy had the front position, but the Devon fellow in Vardy just knocked him off the ball and gathered it. And that's a bit of a problem with Inverloch. On a drier day, well, perhaps you'd see that ball run around, bounce a bit, and the younger legs might get there, but very difficult conditions today. Devon with a 20-point advantage. One would think late in this third quarter that's almost enough with the breeze blowing up again. Free kick to Devon again. I think it's going to that man Tibbles. No, and Tibbles is back there. Yep. Well, do as you please, Devon. I think that it's at the wrong end of the ground completely. I'd be inclined to put Clark at centre half forward, you know, in these conditions now, and just hope that he can weave some of this magic that he's been well known for. Although very difficult. What a beautiful kick. That's just offline and through for one behind. So Inverloch will live again, albeit by a very slender thread. In the centre half forward, I'm not sure that's the way to go, is kicking it forward, but Devon picked up by Zimmerman. But look at this. Tibbles onto his left foot, into the goal square, kicked off the ground, into that man, Dunkley. Well, Peter, Dunkley, you couldn't have missed that one, surely. 10 metres out, kicked off the ground by Underwood to Dunkley, and Dunkley's put them 4 goals in front.
Oh, Buck, that's the biggest goal of the game. That puts them, like you said, 4 in front. They're going to come home with a 4-goal win that last quarter. You say it's 4, I say it's about 2. Yeah, they're totally in control now, Buck.
Well, their ability to kick goals to left of your screen has been the difference. They kicked 2 in the first quarter, they've kicked 2 in this quarter, and Inverloch have only at this stage kicked 1 against it, or 1 to the left of the screen, which is against the breeze. Scott up high. Got his hand to the ball, but it goes nowhere. And this is approaching a boil-over, even if it's wet and muddy conditions. When you're relying on skill, I see that they've got Clark at centre-half forward, but then again, you put him at centre-half forward, and you've got to wait for the ball to get to him. Will the ball get to him? Very difficult conditions for all players involved. And it's a shame for the Foster Football Club because they worked very hard on this ground. I was down here yesterday, and all they needed was a bit of a break, and it would have come up very nicely indeed. Devon's forward pocket. And wherever Inverloch get the ball, there seem to be 2 or 3 Devon fellows prepared to pounce, prepared to chase, prepared to harass, and they look a little bit too big, a little bit too strong, and I'm loath to say it, but a little bit too good at this stage, Billy Waller.
Yeah, must agree, Buck. A few Inverloch players out there now have hands on hips and not really looking the goods at all, and Devon really putting the pressure on there, mate.
Well, reigning premiers do that, Bill. Kicked in by Inverloch, going now to side. Flanagan with the ball. Zimmerman clears. Park drops what he should have taken, although it's very wet. Does well, gets around, hand passes on. Centre wing. Oh, Vardy. Or would you like to have him in the other side? I reckon if it had Vardy in the Inverloch side, they'd be very, very close as Flanagan takes the mark. Not paid, play on's a call. Now it's out of bounds on the full, an Inverloch kick. No, throw in, must have been touched. Well, Devon can just about wrap up this Premiership Cup, I'd say, at this stage, because they've got all the answers. Over the back, knocked away by Flanagan. Number 8, is it? Very hard to tell that number out there. Grandstand side of the ground. Already we've got people going home. They've seen enough. They must have been Inverloch supporters. I don't suppose anyone from Devon will be leaving yet. The centre ground is Devon, go forward again. Having a shot was Rendell, couldn't get his foot to the ball. Had the chance, the boy, just couldn't quite get there. Well, this game is going nowhere because I think they might be better, Bill, trying to swap it to the outer side, Inverloch. Get somebody out there, try and get it across and run the ball because they've got good young legs. They've just got this slogging, battling football we're seeing now. Devon are going to do this all day and say thank you very much and thank you for coming. What they've got to do is try and get it wide and run the ball.
Yeah, that could be the case, Buck, but they've been outgunned all over the ground. They're trying backman up forward now, forward up the back line. They're trying everything. It's not working. You've only got to look at the scoreboard now, and this mob are totally in control. When I say this mob, I say Devon. They're playing fantastic football. 20 scoring shots to 8. That's over double the number of scoring shots up forward, Buck. I think that really tells the story.
Tibbles into Vardy.
Really tells the story.
Vardy with a long kick to centre half forward. Mark played down there, no. Play on's a call. Scramble of players once again. And Devon is saying, we'll play this game of football as long as you like. Cleared nicely by Bright. Going nowhere, however. Well, Butcher's on the ground. How long has he been on here, Bill? I think he's been there quite a while. We haven't seen much of him. But I don't think that's a bad move because he's a strong, aggressive son of a gun. And, well, quarter time, and at the risk of repeating myself, Vardy, Tibbles, Stewart Vardy, Rendell. Wherever I look down this Devon side, there are good players. Peter Dunkley played well again. Wherever you look, Underwood, interesting enough, played better that quarter, but he's dropped out. He had a very good first quarter. But can you find any good players for Inverloch, Bill?
No, very hard on that quarterback. I think Muir's still having a fair income dip, and young Brit's having a fair income go. But gee, just the scoreboard, the way they ticked that over, Inverloch win that quarter, they kicked 3 goals, 5 to Inverloch's 2 straight goals. At one stage, Inverloch kicked those 2 goals in the trot, and it looked like, well, perhaps they can pull something out of the fire. But no, to Devon's credit, they've come right back and they're well on top now, Buck.
We'll take a break. 8-12-60, Devon Welshpool to IK 5-3-33. And one would think facing a 27 deficit, kicking against the scoring wind, they've got a lot of work to do here in Inverloch if they're taking this cup home that way. Okay, well, third quarter starting again, and dare I say, the wind's starting to blow down to that tour end. One can't feel a little bit sorry for Bruce Clark, but feel a bit sorry for Bruce Clark today, and perhaps Neil Park, playing what could be their last games, and what a way to go out on a losing grand final. I might make them play again at least, Billy.
Well, that's right, Buck. Bit of a change for Inverloch this quarter. They've got their full forward, Glenn Martin, in the centre of the ground. It could be interesting to see how he goes there.
Ball in the centre, again with Devon. Vardy tries to kick it over his shoulder. I can bet you that the Devon side will really close this game up. Clark. Vardy to Clark. Clark kicks it forward to Park. Can't gather it. Position his body nicely. It goes forward to Peter Dunkley. Pushed in the back, was he? Play on's a call. Pack of players around the... But look at this Devon side. They are everywhere. It's picked up by Pavey in the goal square. Not paid the mark. Yes, pay the mark. Well, Barragan for Inverloch or not, but you wouldn't want to know. Tibbles has marked the ball. And surely he'll score from here. 10 metres out in a slight angle. And this would put them to a 33-point advantage. Well, Anthony Pavey missed this grand final and the final before. This will soften the blow a bit. A very well coached side, disciplined, and through for 1 point. Well, I thought he would have kicked that, Tibbles. He's played fairly well, but very well coached side today indeed. Needs to be congratulated, Anthony Pavey, on the way he's turned this side out, because they've done nothing but eyes for the ball. There's a very nice mark taken out by that man Tibbles again. They've been too big and too strong. Well, Tibbles has got a chance from 40 metres out this time. He's got the wind almost directly behind him. And I would say we're going through the motions. We'll try and make it interesting. I dare say it's going to be very interesting for the Devon people, Devon Welshpool people. Not so interesting for the Inverloch people. But when you're in this position, Bill, we'll just wait for Tibbles to take this kick. Goes back, and it's a lovely looking kick. Oh, that's a goal. What a big goal. What a big goal on this stage of the game. That's, well, if they need the nail in the coffin, that's it, Billy Waller.
Oh, yeah, she's all over, Buck. Young Tibbles, he's only a young bloke, and he's so big and strong, but he's mobile, Buck. And he's getting around that forward line now, and yeah, he's killing Inverloch.
He's played very well indeed. But just this Devon side has been very well turned out. You have a lot of stories about Devon, they're tough and what have you, but you know, top of the ladder sides get that branded at them, but today they've been nothing but eyes on the ball. Knocked out of the ball was Pavey again. Out wide, number 8, Billy, I haven't got him. Smothered it anyway. Flanagan. Kicked forward by Inverloch, and that was kicked forward by Martin. By Clark. It's a game of soccer today. Kick it off the ground, do anything. to Park. Park shepherds the Devon fellow very cleverly into the centre of the ground. Chance here, comes wide to Devon, and out finding Pavey. Philip Pavey. Butcher, I beg your pardon. Inverloch it was. Lovely mark into Coy. Coy with a shot for goal. It's close. Newer, I beg your pardon. And through for 1 point. 5-3-34, Inverloch to 9-13-67, and what is becoming a boil over in this 96 Alberton League Grand Final. Well, there was a lot said about the difference between Alberton League and Bass Valley, Bill, in the past. How do you think the competition's gone to date through the year?
Oh, it's been a fantastic competition. We at Inverloch, we sort of regard it as East versus West back, all the original Alberton sides, the Tourers and the likes of these and Welshpools against the traditional Bass Valley sides. Right, he kicked it out to half forward flank for Inverloch, picked up by a young bloke here, but it's been cut off yet again. I think that's Lithgow, number 12, is it back?
Yep.
Driven forward, now on a half forward flank for Devon. He's got time to steady, kicks it short. And a good mark taken by someone we haven't got listed, Hollier.
Yep.
Right, Hollier kicks it short, on the lead. And he's got it again. Are we looking at Rendell there, are we back?
Yep.
Yes, he's got it again back. And although I think he's only kicked one for the day, I think he's kicking nailed him down, but he's a good lead, leads out well. And Devon's skill, they seem to hit these blokes in the chest every time back. Right, he's going to have a shot. He'll be kicking from about 48 metres out. Wind, if he goes to the left goal post, he might screw this one back in, Buck. We'll see how he goes. No, out to the right, to stayed right, bad kick. Let himself down again, Buck.
Well, I don't know whether he let himself down, Bill. It was a lovely pass from Hollier. A good lead, good mark. I think he's played well enough. Young Rendell. He's got a bit of talent. He's short, stocky fellow. A mark out here to Martin. Martin with the ball from Inverloch. Into the centre of the ground. Finds Morris. Now the Inverloch boys, back to Martin. Martin out wide, grandstand side. Muir can't pick up the ball. Battled well. Billy Waller was saying he's battled well, and he has battled well. As Pavey falls over. Vardy, I beg your pardon, Cole Vardy. Kicked off the ground. Vardy, the said player, kicks it off the ground, and when you've got luck going with you, just a scrappy old kick off the ground, and he's found Tibbles. Went for the torpedo punt, lands at centre half forward, and a nice mark coming out there was Stewie Vardy. Well, I said it before, what a great club they've been over the years. You wouldn't have seen them, Bill, but they've had their ups and they've had their downs, the Devon people. They're stuck out there next to a big town in Yarram, and they're very loyal and very strong, and they've got these terrific families that really stick. And they've got new club rooms up there now, and I imagine they'll be jumping tonight as Stewie Vardy puts it on his boot, and it's just wide through for 1 point, which take them to 9-15-69 to Inverloch 5-4-34. We'll wrap it up and take it home, Devon. And I must say that it's been a very disciplined game of football by the Devon side. Very disciplined indeed. They've backed up, they've battled, they've struggled, they've been there in numbers, and above all, they have played the ball. And that's the secret, particularly when you get various people saying they don't, and that's, of course, that's the legacy of being a top side. Ball kicked off the ground and pushed forward by Hollis. It's over the line and out of bounds. Devon forward pocket. Devon 35 points in front, and seemingly with this 96 grand final side wrapped up. Premiership Cup wrapped up.
Oh, they certainly have back. Yeah, Muir's just got a free kick around the neck now and half back flank. kicks it out clear of the 50-metre mark, but it's punched back in by Devon. Great pick up. He's on the run, this young fella.
I think that was Peter Dunkley.
Peter Dunkley. And the umpire calls for a ball up in the back pocket.
In fact, it was Underwood. We thought it was Dunkley. They're very hard, these numbers, to pick up. They've got mud and what have you over the back. Scramble of players. Going nowhere. And it's out of bounds. Devon forward pocket. They lead by 35 points in the 96 grand final. And I just wonder what's running through Bruce Clark's mind now and Neil Park. They've done a terrific job to get these kids as far as they have this year. It's been a wonderful effort, particularly when sold the dummy nicely. Clarkey, hand pass on by Muir to Butcher. Butcher kicks to nowhere to Park. Park knocks it on. Caught when not in possession was Rowland and should get the kick. Very small boy, this Rowland. He's only a youngster too, Bill. Kicks it long to nowhere in particular, and those big arms up there of Philip Pavey. Yes, he has. Been a rock solid in defence. Kicks it long, and why not indeed? Can't mark the ball. It's over the back. And Coy kicks the ball. Bright it was. Out of bounds on the full. And it goes to that man Underwood. Underwood, the centre half forward. Inverloch going through the motions at the moment. Good kick off the ground. Taking away his Brit. Denley. Played well, Denley. One of the few goers for Inverloch all day. Been in there battling. He's given his heart and soul to this young Inverloch side. As it back it comes into the forward line. And Dowson takes the mark. He's played well on a half-back flank. He's one of the few of the younger brigade for Inverloch that has played well.
Just when he swings up.
Yes, well, brothers, they have that uncanny ability, don't they? As David Dowson, the centre wing. And a mark for Devon. Now I'm taking a punt, but that's Cole Vardy, although he hasn't got, I can't see a number. I'm going on his hair. God, he'd need a tank load of, he'd need a Flanagan with the mark now at half forward. He'd need 2,000 gallons to wash that hair out in a day like today, Bill, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I think so, Buck. They're all going to know they've had a good game of football in the mud today when they get off the ground.
Well, I wouldn't mind being a fly on the wall in Devon tonight. They keep the Yarran blokes away, so they might even have a happy time. As the ball goes wide out to the forward flank and out of bounds once again in the Devon Welshpool forward line, and they look like for certain being premiers in 96 of the Alberton League. The 50 years anniversary for 49, is it? 50 years, I heard somebody say, for the Alberton League. An Inverloch kick. They're going out, and he's played well, this fellow. Burke, is it? Number 15. Decoy. Players going through the motions now. I reckon that's Cole Vardy. Kicked out of bounds on the full. Well, if he has, he was pushed off it as he was kicking it, and one of the few mistakes he's made all day. In fact, give us 5 minutes, we'll run through some best players for you. There's a number of them in the Devon side. Out of bounds. Half forward flank for Devon. And we're just going through the motions in the 96 grand final as Devon Welshpool 9-15-69 leading IK 5-4-34. It's over the back. No one can gain possession. Kick forward by Butcher. Centre of the ground. Play on to call. Devon forward line. The Inverloch player stands still, but Scott clears it wide. But a mark taken by Philip Pavey. Short and a half forward. Well, Tibbles. Well, I don't know how I've been giving the best for Devon. I've got Cole Vardy ahead of a whisker. Mainly he'll probably stay there because of the hard work he's done previously, but Tibbles has been there also. And 40 metres out, slide angle, kicking from a good patch of the ground, and just pushes it wide and through for one behind. 9:16.70, Devon Welshpool to OK 5:4.34, and they just have not been able to kick goals, Billy Waller.
That's right, Buck. This game's all over. Devon, much too good. Over the 4 quarters, I might add. I think they've won every quarter. I think you'd agree with that, Buck.
Yeah, Flanagan goes forward.
Very skillful side, but prepared to play in front all day. And, well, the scoreboard tells the whole story, doesn't it?
There was some conjecture that the wet weather might help Inverloch a bit, but you take a strong, disciplined side, well coached and led very well off the field too by that club called Devon Welshpool these days. Then they're not going to give you an inch on conditions like this. And your young players, then of course, are always going to battle. As we see Stewie Vardy out of bounds on the full. I don't think he'll care one bit about that. Even he tried to bring it back the other way, and it just landed the wrong side of his boot and banana to the right instead of the left. Short pass. Morris with the ball. Battled well, Morris too. One of the young veterans here now of Inverloch. But nowhere to kick it to. Scott is aimed for. Scott's in front. Taken very nicely by Matt Pavey. I thought Matt Pavey should have been paid the mark. He's not paid. It was a mark, all right. Knocked away by Stewie Vardy. Well, if you call Vardy and Pavey here in this game, as Martin comes away for Inverloch, you're not going to go too badly. Kick forward by Inverloch, and that was Scott. Park hand passes to no one in particular. Cole Vardy couldn't get away. Number 10. A Farley again. How many? Zimmerman. Hand pass on to Dowson. Dowson wide to Park. And this is better, Inverloch. You've got the ball running a bit, although Park's hand pass was a shocker. He butters up Parksy, but he's caught with the ball. Play on's the call. Zimmerman overruns the ball. Bright overruns the ball. Very hard for these young fellows, but they've done very well, the Inverloch backmen, under tremendous pressure, and clearing it out there was Truman. Grandstand side. All the sting gone out of this game.